that was his question. I was trying about to get to yours. So, would you like to ask your question?
Okay, so you believe in sola fide, right?
Right, justification by faith apart from works of the law. Yes.
What must I believe in order to be saved?
What must you believe in order to be saved?
What exactly must I believe about Jesus Christ in order to be saved?
That he was the Son of God. That he is the part of the Trinity. In other words, the Triune God, and that his work on the cross atones for the sins. So those are a few things there. And that he rose from the grave, and that he was crucified, and that's how, of course, that's where we have the issue of him rising comes from there.
Okay, okay. So if we believe wrongly
Mm-hmm.
on any of those scores,
Mm-hmm.
are we damned?
Based on the teachings of the Bible in regards to the different gospels that are out there and certain beliefs that focus on a different God and a different Jesus, then yes, that would indicate someone that is damned.
Okay, so for example, Mormons are out of the question. They believe in a
Correct.
created God. They deny the Trinity.
Yeah.
Uh, okay.
They even, as Joseph Smith stated, that they believe that the Trinity is a three-headed monster.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Jesus is a created being and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, just curious. Okay. Other questions? I'll think. See if anybody else has got any questions.
I mean, if anything, I'd simply settle for the Russian Orthodox since they at least affirm a 66 book canon. What seems
You
to
do
affirm.
not. That's a myth. That's a myth. Whoever told you that lied, sir. The
So
Russian
the Russian.
Orthodox continue to use the same as the Eastern Orthodox. If you found some Russian Orthodox that are ripping those other books out of their canon, then I want to know who they.
Okay,
I
sure.
want to know if Moscow declared this or what, because I
The
don't believe
Catechism.
you. The Eastern Orthodox, they've been using the same
The Catechism of Saint Philaret of Moscow.
filler out of Moscow. Okay, when did he do that? And does the Catechism of Saint Philaret of Moscow speak for the entire Russian Orthodox communion?
According to this Orthodox apologetics group of two deacons, yes, they. This is the authoritative catechism. It said it is examined and approved by the most holy governing synod and published for the use of schools and of all Orthodox Christians by order of His Imperial Majesty, Moscow, at the Synodical Press of 1830.
So you've got an 1830 catechism there. All right, I'll continue running that one down because I'm very doubtful on that
Right, and
source.
then it mentions, of course,
So
other revisions and examinations upon this, including of 1869 and 1848, as they mentioned on here. But in the Catechism, that was the thing, we went over this.
I've talked to my Orthodox friends. They're very doubtful on this, so I'll continue to look it down. It sounds to me like a Protestant corruption of the Russian Orthodox Church, but we'll see.
Okay, that's quite interesting because it says Saint Cyril. Because according to them, it says how many books are the Old Testament? They say Saint Cyril of Jerusalem, Saint Athanasius the Great, and Saint John Damascene reckon them at 22, agreeing therein with the Jews who so reckon them in the original Hebrew tongue, and which is Athanas epistle, and of course mentions Roman numerals XXXIX because I'm not that much literate when it comes to the Roman numerals. Detest. J. Damascene, Theol Lib, chapter, it's book 4, I assume, chapter 17. So those are the sources that are provided in the catechism.
We'll be checking into that catechism. Thanks.
Okay, then. With scripture,
Have you
yes.
looked at the Coptic? Have you looked at the Coptics and the Assyrians, the Alexandrians and the Assyrians, and what they do?
I've looked into Assyrians due to a couple of Assyrian friends, but not Coptic.
The Alexandrian Orthodox are very fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones that also have the most expanded canon.
Right.
I have one more question. So, if people believe wrong things, even if they believe all the essential things about Jesus that you mentioned, if they believe other things that are wrong, for example, the Marian doctrines, are they damned because they believe the wrong things?
I would say so. If they, with regards to how they view Mary in that point, in regards to some of the Marian dogmas that do, even though they don't believe it, and the statements certainly don't state that they're putting her as a goddess, would certainly elevate
I
her
don't know
to such a
anybody who
status
does
of it.
that.
Huh?
Anybody who does that, but okay. So, assuming then that I do believe that Mary is the Queen of Heaven, ever Virgin, and can indeed answer intercessory prayers, and has done so for me.
Right.
Which what's my status in this whole saved damn thing in your reckoning? Because I'll never deny her ever.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
So I'm just curious.
Right. You say that now, and there are many people that will say that, and then eventually some of these people become Christians. Like look at Paul, for example.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. I don't know what was that all about, but all right.
I think my opinion on that, on what he's saying, that based on what you believe of Jesus, I think that if, for example, if there is a Catholic that maybe, for example, he may not exactly know, what he necessarily does believe in about Mary and about the saints, but I think that if he truly is in faith and he truly does follow God and his laws, I think that he can definitely achieve salvation. I don't know what your view may be on that.
Well, I mean, I believe that as long as one holds to, what the Bible teaches, then I think that's perfectly fine. But again, when it comes to Mary, and this is where he didn't let me finish to what the points are, because there's, in terms of what the scholars and the Catechism of the Catholic Church teaches about Mary, I don't have a problem with the issue of being the queen or any of that kind of stuff. What I do have the problem with mention is like the prayers, which in order to receive all of those prayers, she must have an attribute of God in order to be able to receive all of those prayers, especially all of them coming in at once. So
right.
With that being done, that must raise the questions of how she is logically following through with this. In other words, being somewhat deified accidentally by the Roman magisterium. The other one is according to Alphonsus Liguori in his book, The Glories of Mary. He was a respected Roman Catholic scholar on these matters. He's made the statement in page 163 that Mary is the peacemaker between sinners and God. It is right there in the book. So it's called The Glories of Mary. That he makes this statement. Another one says that Mary delivers her clients from hell in page 183. So Mary...
Yeah, I think I've heard of that book before.
Yeah, so somehow Mary has the power to deliver her clients from hell.
Right.
But Galatians 1:4 says Jesus gave himself for our sins to deliver us from the present evil age. And likewise, Hebrews 7:25 says he is able to save that he, referring to Jesus, is able to save the uttermost those who draw near to God through him, since he always lives to make intercessions for them.